And we are back. You are listening to IBGR.network. IBGR is our call sign as a radio station. But of course, we are so much more than a radio station. We are actually a network of global entrepreneurs coming together to create a shared space for collaboration and business success. Your business success. Now, I'm your host, Jan Robberts, inspirational entrepreneur, and this is episode 9 already of season 4. I'm talking into choices and decisions, and how are you looking after yourself? And that takes choices and decisions, especially nowadays. But we know for long enough now that we need to do so much more to actually look after our own health. That's the one thing we can always do. And I'm going to talk into that. And if you want to know more about IBGR, you can go to the IBGR.network website, where you can also download our show notes. But we've got social media platforms and LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course we also have our amazing app. So download the app as well, and like and share all of this with your friends. Now, just before the break, I was actually talking into realizing that as an entrepreneur, how different it is from picking up a paycheck. And then I just said that so many during the break, as we were still on Facebook, I talked into with the people on Facebook about the different areas and how uncertain life has become as an employee. Now, also, I know that because of no fault of their own, many small businesses, unfortunately, are going under because of what happened around the world. You can't plan for this, but there's also many people in this moment, they are now realizing that a job gives them no security whatsoever. They've thought about doing something for themselves and are now actively looking into either starting something on the side or starting to actively look how they can become an entrepreneur. The IBGR.network is a great place to be, and also we have strategically partnered. Both IBGR.network and Asset Key Leadership Institute have strategically partnered with Cubimo. That's also a platform where more and more information becomes available to help you as an entrepreneur from your idea to and your incubation period to opening your doors and way beyond. And that is building all the time as well. So, join us both on IBGR.network and go and have a look at the Cubimo platform, www.cubimo.com as well. Cubimo. I just had to think about that. But, within the UK, 11 million people sitting at home just now getting paid, wondering by the time people getting paid no longer in that furlough scheme, which is 80%, I believe, from what they earned, if there is still a job to go back to. So, but all of a sudden, when we go from entrepreneurs from employees to entrepreneurs, we get the realization that we are it. We are everything from decision makers, finance directors, purchasing managers, product managers, creative department, running a creative department, and so much more. Chief cook and bottle washer, maybe even. But we have to make important choices and decisions, which we probably never had to do the same before, especially to that length, to those many. We never had to do it in the same capacity. That's what I was looking for. And as I was looking, I started losing my word, and it's a live show. So anyway, but now we have to do these kind of things. We have to make all these important choices and decisions about our own lives, which we never had to do before, and work ourselves sometimes to the bone every day, 7 days a week, until we fall into bed so tired we sometimes even forget to eat. And sleeping is also something that is erratic, to say the least, if it ever happens, because we start worrying about different things, and especially when things first start going, there is so many things to think about, so little time. But did I mention we also need to take good care of ourselves, as we are no good to anyone else if we become ill or, of course, die. No, self-care is very seldom on the menu, so it is no wonder many people become negative, get ill, or burn out altogether. And that's not just in entrepreneurial life, that is life altogether, even corporate life, and so many areas that we just don't look after ourselves. We don't put it high on the list. So you might have heard that success is only a decision away. Now, this might be true, but at what price? How many people have made a lot of money, then have to spend that money on their health as they are suffering from the many ailments due to the way they lived the years in the years gone by? Is that how you want to live the rest of your life? Is that how you want your life to turn out? Is that the way you want to spend your hard-earned money? Or is that how you want to spend the best years of your life? I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. So before it is too late, and it's never too late, but before it is too late, that you are getting ill and that you are getting ailments and very much related to the way you have lived so far. I'm not talking about ailments that happen because of some other reason, but before it's too late, you need to make a decision to make self-care an integral part of your daily life. It has to become part of your personal growth plan. Now, at the moment, I started doing a series of self-care on the Key Leadership Institute Facebook page, where you can go as well and see them all. And it's around about 15-minute videos every day. And I was going to do just a week, maybe 10 days. Today, later on today, I'm going to do session number 19 already. And I've got no idea when I'm going to stop, because there is so much to it. And I really want people to realize, I want to add value to people in all different kind of ways where they can learn to the realization, the awareness, and learn to look after themselves better. Because if ever there was a time we need to build our self-esteem, we need to build our mental capacity, we need to build our immunity, our physical, mentally, and spiritual well-being. If ever there was a time, it is now. And I don't need to even tell anybody that. But to choose that inclusion needs a firm decision, which should not be made lightly. It has to be followed up by intentional, consistent, daily action. And what I will do is I will talk into some of the areas I've talked about on my Facebook page, and you can go there. I put the link in my show notes as well, and you can download the show notes from the www.ibgr.network website page, or even if you download the app, they're there as well. But I will talk into maybe 6 or 7 areas of self-care that even as entrepreneurs, they're simple but not easy, because, as I said, we are all busy people. But it is not a nice to have, it is a must have, a must implement. Make that choice just now that you will do better for yourself. So, one of the things I'm going to talk into is your eating habits. Then I'm also going to mention your physical health, your sleeping habits, mindfulness, the importance of me time, the power of gratitude, and also compassion. Now, even I do 15, sometimes 20-minute sessions on each of these. In fact, mindfulness was such a powerful subject. I took 2 days in fact, this last Monday and Tuesday, I took 2 days to just touch the surface of that. But every one of them, I took 15, 20 minutes. Now, if I did that, you can do the math, 7 times that. We're going to be in trouble with the station commander and the background people. They'll cut me off. So again, I only touched it in my Facebook page, the Key Leadership Facebook page. But here I'm going to touch on the touch. It is just to give you an idea, just a slight idea about its importance and how we can start implementing those. These are just some of the simple ones. There's a whole list of them that you can work with, but it is something that needs to be taken care of. I'm just going to have a quick look at the time that I'm not going to get into trouble anyway. I've got a few minutes yet, but there are many more areas than these 7, even different aspects. Because you've got your mental, you've got your spiritual, you've got your physical, you've got your emotional. There are so many different areas, even with mental, physiological, even in spiritual, you can go different ways. But there is different areas and aspects of self-care to consider. I even talked into the different aspects of self-care and how you can start a self-care plan, which could even become part of your self-growth plan, your personal development plan. But it has to be part of it. It doesn't need to be everything, but it should be an integral part of it. Because if you start on these 7 areas, of course, physical and all that kind of stuff, your personal growth plan will also be part of it. Because personal growth also has to do with your physical well-being, your mental and spiritual well-being. So they all talk to each other, but taking care of you as the entrepreneur is a priority. You don't have to panic when I talk about this kind of stuff, because as you glance on your agenda or in your diary, you probably don't see a single white space for any of this. But you don't need to practice in all of these areas every single day. However, you will need to incorporate as many of them in your daily program as you personally need, because one size doesn't fit all in personal development, in self-care, in all those kind of things. But you need to find what helps you, what serves you. But you really must allocate time you must allocate time for you every single day, because there is no other option. The other options, if you look at them, are not worth even thinking about. But bad health, hospitalization, death, and you can just fill in the gaps in between. But so many people never think about it when they're young. They keep going and they do all kinds of things, and they're busy, and then before they know it, sometimes way before they actually think it, things happen like heart attacks brought on by the stresses they're under. All these kind of things. So self-care is so important. I think I've got another half a minute. Yes, I am right. But I will come back to that and start talking into these areas afterwards. I was shortly going to take a break again, but I cannot tell you which ones you need to work on, because one size doesn't fit all. But the same with exercise, personal development plan, and with self-care. It's personal, and the good thing is that you choose. The bad thing is you choose. Choose which areas you will start with, then make that all-important decision to incorporate those and follow up with the necessary action. So, we're going to leave just now for a quick break, but don't go away. Join us on all our social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram and Twitter at ibgr.network, and I will be back in a few minutes. See you then. Take care.